Well, Chris, it's called getting smacked.
3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to the latest episode of the Smac Talk podcast. Happy New Year, Gabriel Jon. We have him here on the podcast. Finally.
Well, how are you?
I've been trying to drag you on here for quite some time, but thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, of course, glad to be here.
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, Gabriel, superstar DJ.
Wasn't but as far as superstar, but yeah, we'll go for that. Yeah.
I was checking you out, actually, just giving you a wee gander on Spotify before you came around. I have to do my research and stuff like that, you know. But 20k monthly listens on average on Spotify.
That's the lowest it's been, like.
But that's like,
it's still good. It's still good, like.
You would take that every day of the week.
Take that any day, like. Take the 20,000 people, like. Take them, no problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love it, like.
How's your new year been? How have you kicked things off? I'm
Pretty,
sure as like
good.
a DJ, it's been absolutely horrendous in comparison to what you want it to be. Like,
yeah, it was absolutely slow start. Like, I wish it went differently, honestly, but like it's just the way it is. Like, I'd stuff planned, like, but with COVID, the way it's going and the way it's going to keep going, just gotta find ways to work around it. But you gotta give me time to figure out what to do. Like,
yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
your thing now is obviously like DJ, and that's the sort of route you're going into. Do you do like any sort of like educational stuff on that, or is it like just like, is this like a hobby you're just doing?
Educational stuff. Okay, the odd time people would ask me how I make stuff, like how I do it, and I would genuinely give them a hand, like, even though it would be like from the start, I would actually explain how I started and how I would do it. But that's as far as it goes. Like, teaching stuff. Maybe my mates who started first getting into it, I would just like call them the odd time and show them how to do stuff. But that's as far as it goes. Like,
and like, is there anyone like mentoring you or sort of doing anything like that for you at the minute, or are you just sort of self-taught sort of thing?
Yeah, it's been self-taught like the whole way. Obviously from other producers and other friends, they've given me a hand, like, but it's just tutorials and practice like, and
it's so funny because like we were sort of talking before I started recording here, like it sort of is a similar game to the podcast in a sense, as in like you really have to pick it up as you go along, and you make, I don't know about you, but you make a fuckload of mistakes going through, and you like see when you listen back to like your earlier stuff or like the first stuff, like I cringe. Like, there's podcast episodes of will never ever see the light of day that I've done, like, and it's just horrendous. Like, even like the simple thing we were saying there, like trying to sync up audio and wrecking your head, awful. Like,
yeah, that literally the amount of mistakes you make starting off, it's actually embarrassing. Like, looking back at it, you laugh about it, but like you're like, I thought this was class at the time. Like, like the worst part was snap memories.
Oh fuck!
I used to get the snap memories of the videos of what I used to make and send them to my mates, and I look back at them and I was like, oh my god, 4 years ago I was making that. But I thought that was the best thing ever. Like, taking a video, put it in the story and all. Shocking, absolutely shocking.
But it's like you have to go through that sort of process in order to, like, you know, obviously get to where you are now. Like, it's all part of it, because like we're sort of saying, like, trying to find tutorials and like how to like really go about things in a specific way, it's quite hard to find. Like, there's loads of good like tutorials on like YouTube and things like that, like say like how to get into DJing or podcast or whatever, but like it's not until you physically get your hands on it, you really start learning your craft. Yeah,
like at the start you watch it where it's like, oh, looks handy enough, and then you actually sit down to do it and nothing works for you, nothing makes sense, you don't know why, that you're just so stuck in the loop for ages until like something clicks, and then you actually get so psyched about it. Like,
someone actually asked a question, I was going to save it to the end, but probably throw it in now. Someone's asking, is it like fairly expensive to get into DJing, or can you cheap it down for yourself?
Funny story, actually. I started off with a laptop, and I mean the roughest laptop of all time. Like, I made my first ever proper release / desires on that laptop, but the problem was I couldn't hear my final product on the laptop because the laptop was that bad, I couldn't run it. So I couldn't hear the final product, so I had to sit there for an hour till it fully like exported and then listen to it.
And you would want to go
change it.
Oh, and if there's like a wee tiny thing, you had
a tiny thing. So
export the whole thing, go again.
Oh yeah. So like there's so many mistakes, and then at one point I just got so fed up exporting, I just uploaded it the way it was. There's so many mistakes. Like, sure, it is what it is. Like,
so tell me, what originally like was the thing that made you want to get into it? Like, did you just always love music, or was there like one thing in your head is like, oh fuck, I'm gonna try and make a beat here? Like, what was it?
Yeah, there's a few reasons. Like, I don't know. I actually fully sat in my bedroom, and I was just like, I just sat there. I was like, how do you make a song? Like I actually just goes like, how does anyone even make that? Like, it was actually, I don't know if it was Alan, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was like Alan Walker or something. I just goes, how does he even make that? Like, what? Like, how? And then I just went, I'll give it a wee go. Like, oh, absolute shite for the first year. Like, I mean, shocking stuff. Like, but yeah, it's just kind of progressed forward. Like, but fuck, it was awful. Like, I mean, it was terrible. Like, I used to fake some stuff I made to show, like, when I was like showing girls and all, I'd be like, yeah, I made that.
You made that?
Did I fuck? No, they were like actual projects, but they just weren't like, do you know what I mean? They weren't all mine, and I was just like, yeah, no more made that. Like,
And like, did you start then like going into like remixes or like take like original songs or like remix them, or was it completely from scratch?
No, I went straight into the remix route, just because it was already like vocals and stuff. So I just like, that song could sound a bit better, like, or it could sound a bit different. Remixes weren't that great. Some of them were actually alright. To be fair, some of them were I actually still do like, but some of them are god awful. Like, talk about a learning curve. Like, you're still learning though. Like, you're still learning. Like, I am still learning, and will continue to be for God knows how many years. Like,
yeah, because one of those things you constantly have to, like, even with this game, like, you have to evolve to what sort of trends.
Yeah, so
it's sort of something we mentioned like just before recording as well. Like, sort of like finding your. I thought about it, Girl Keeve as well. She's a musician from Uri. Like, finding your actual sound and what you want to produce instead of going the route of, like, you know, what people want you to produce can be tricky as well. Like,
yeah, that's something a lot of people say. You achieve like becoming a musician once you don't follow any trend, like you are the trend, but for your own audience. You know what I mean? Like, once you start making your own stuff, that's when you've made it.
But it's so hard. Like, how do you know you're not how do you know you're not following something? Because there's so much noise out there. Like, you could have picked up somewhere.
This is what I mean. Like, every day, people don't realize that they make their own sound, but they choose to never show that project because they think it doesn't sound good, because it's something that they've never heard before.
Yeah, right enough.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so when you make something, you're like, oh my god, that's so weird. But then you have to think, like, other people made stuff that they thought was weird, but now look at it. Like,
so what's your process then? Like, if you were to, like, say you're like to make a song and you're like, I don't know if I like this, would you run it past a certain someone to like check out if you liked it or not, or like do you just leave it to your own opinion? Do you have like a go-to person be like, here, what do you think of that?
I used to make like a private SoundCloud link, and then still do. Send it to my mates and just be like, right, God's honest truth, what's going on here? What is absolutely shit about this? Like, and a few of them would just like be like, oh yeah, no, it's really good. Like, but then some of my mates would just tell me the truth. Like,
those mates are the goat. Like, that's what you need.
They'd be telling me, because like one of my mates I live with, he'd just be like, no, that's shit. Like, he's just like, what even is that? And I'm like, yeah, first, but I'm glad they tell me, like, because I'd be so psyched about that project, and then say if I was to release it, it'd do absolutely horrendous. Like, then again, you never know, it could be the new trend.
Yeah, it actually could be something that no one like expects. Yeah, that's actually a fair point, because like, see, whenever like for like comedy and the stand-up that I'm sort of doing at the minute, like, I was like, fuck, how am I going to validate if any of this is any fucking use? Because like, see, when you go up to tell a joke for the first time, you're actually pooping your cacks. Like,
I'd say so. I don't know how you do it.
It's so funny, right? But Ashley, my girlfriend, fucking God love her, has no, and she doesn't mind says, has no sense of humor, doesn't find anything funny, and I've always just said, I'm wasted on you, like, I'm fucking hilarious, and she's like, no, you're fucking up. So whenever I write something, I run it past her, and if she just even smiles, Joe just a wee smirk, I was like, that'll get a reaction. I was like, there's something in that. Like, if you're smirking at that, like, she'll never laugh, ever laugh at it. Like, she'll laugh at something fucking ridiculously stupid that won't even be like a written. Like, I don't think there's a comic in this world that can make her keel over laughing. Like, but if I get that wee smirk, I'm like, yeah, there's legs to this. Like, there's legs. But you need that wee, like, you need that really harsh critic.
Oh, you do.
To be creative, I think.
All the time. Harsh critics are your best friends.
Because I feel like with most creative people I've met, either they hate everything they do or they love everything they do.
Yeah, it's
hard to find like a guy who goes, well, you know.
I know. I think a lot of people who they go really hard on themselves. Like, they're really hard on themselves. Like, oh, I hate that. I'd never release it. I'm like, why not? Like, like, who cares? Like, just do it. Like, I mean, if it's crap, it's crap. You'll learn from it. You'll get better. Like, but do you know what I mean? I just think, like, take the risk. That's
literally like, that's my life motto. Like, just take the risk and fucking throw it out there. Like,
you're just gonna get older
because
and just forget it. And
like, I suppose it gets trickier when you get to like a sort of bigger level. Like, no one's saying like, you know, you're at like a massive level or like anything like that. But like, it gets to a stage where you're sort of like, the bigger you get, the harder it is to take that risk, because you have a certain reputation to follow, a certain brand to follow. So do you feel like you're in a nice stage at the minute where you can sort of mess around with things?
That's actually one of my predicaments at the moment, which I just want to discuss with like a few other producers as well. Like, I want to take a big risk. I want to release different stuff, I don't want to release it under a different name. I don't want to have to do that, but just the way things look, and I might have to do that.
What do you mean, like rebrand yourself?
Yeah, I still keep my old stuff, because they're still racking in listens. Like, people still like them. Do you know what I mean? But like, I just don't like making that anymore. It was so like, it was good at fun at the start. Now it's forced. Like, it's now to the point where everyone's just trying to battle for a top, like, in the top charts. Like, and you just come about, especially like in Ireland and stuff. Everyone's trying to become like the next Joe Corey and all that. Yeah, and I just come about that. Like, there's no like passion in it, if you know what I mean. Like,
you're just doing what the industry sort of dictates for you. Like,
you're literally like you're trying to make a song to make them money. Like, whereas I'd rather try and make a song that I like, and then people like me for what I like. If you know what I mean. Like,
it's sort of it's like, for a lot of musicians, I feel like it's like a reflection on who they are, their music they're producing, and you don't want to get in that stage where like, this isn't me, and just fucking whacking this out. Like,
at the start, I thought that was me, and I was so psyched because they were doing good, but because it's easy pleasers. Like, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I have to admit, I fucking love the music you have on Spotify, like
Yeah,
all
no,
that
I
stuff.
do
Like
as well,
I
like,
loved it, and then whenever you were bringing out, what was the album? She Left Me for Summer, was it? Like whenever that came out, I was genuinely super excited for it, like really, really keen for it, like, and then you sort of just disappeared. Is that the first statement?
Yeah. Disappeared would be a very first statement. Like.
Were you? I got the sort of opinion that you weren't overly enthusiastic with the album. Or maybe it didn't. Did you not feel like it did as well as it should have? Or
at the start, I was so excited about it, and just like I just didn't work hard enough for it. I didn't believe in it as much as it did. I didn't push it like to the right people. I half-assed the project. To be honest, like I did half-ass the project, but it was after making it. Like there were so many other songs that should have been in that album. Like there was supposed to be originally 12.
Fuck, right.
And they were brilliant, I thought, like, but I just couldn't finish. I was trying to do like 5 projects at once, and I just didn't have the time frame to finish them. But it was my own fault. I didn't have the time frame. So I was like, right, okay, we'll just do it. Like, and I obviously didn't understand the industry as much at the time. Didn't have the same contacts, so it would be a different story now if I released one. But back then, it was just kind of like testing out the waters. Like, I'll just try it.
It's interesting. You talk about like the industry and not knowing the industry. So, like, what does that look like? So start me way back when. Like, I want to sort of like get through like a chronological order of things here. So you decided to become a DJ. You did how you had your shitty laptop. You sort of started messing around with beats. You probably upgraded your equipment a wee bit more. Then what happened?
I don't know. I did actually upgrade my equipment. I actually sat with a Bluetooth speaker. Like, I mean, like something you bring out with your mates when you're drinking, like, and like connected up to the laptop. I was psyched. Like, I thought this is the best thing ever. Have the photo of it and all. I was just sitting there with the laptop and the speaker, like boombox. Like, I'm talking boombox. Like, sick. Like, still love it to this day. Like, it's actually broke, but I'm gonna get it fixed. Different story. Like, but no. So made the songs, and I said to myself, 2019, end of 2019. I was like, right, I'll give one more shot, one more go, and released Soft Desires, and then January 2020, I was just like, right, I'm going to give the end of January. If nothing's to happen at the end of January, I'm done. I'm just going to focus.
What do you
on
mean
studies.
nothing happens? Like, does someone have to like pick you up or recognize you? Or
if nothing blows up or something. Like, I was literally begging for a miracle in a way. Like, I was so stupid. Like, it was like,
you were just throwing Hail Marys. You were throwing Hail Marys. Like,
I was just like, I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then January 28th, TikTok started blowing up.
I love. You said January 28th.
Oh, so, yeah, January 28th.
Why that date in particular? See, when people mention dates to me, I'm like, what was so significant about it?
That was the day that one of the TikToks blew up.
Yeah.
And then a load of TikToks blew up. And then that's when I had started getting phone calls and emails. And then I was like, whoa.
Is this from like producers and stuff? Or
yeah, it was from like record labels, radio stations. Like, a lot of, like, it all started happening, not the same day, but that was the first day I woke up. It was in the middle of the night. I just seen my TikTok and I was like, oh my God. And I went live on TikTok that night, and it was hundreds of people because they were all watching TikToks, and they seen I was live. They would, from the videos, they would go on to the live stream, and I was just sitting there like staring at the phone. I was like, "What is that?" I was psyched, like I didn't know what to do. I was like, "What is all that?" So I turned the computer on, at night about 4 a.m, and just start showing them the projects I was going to release. And they were all psyched, like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, this is fucking sick."
Just another random people, like.
I mean, hadn't a clue. I was just chatting shit to them, and I thought. And then before I knew it, like, just start getting a load of Instagram followers. Like, that's how quickly you can blow up on TikTok. Like, anyone who doesn't believe TikTok is marketing, like, it owns the music industry, it owns everything at the moment. Like, there's just such an audience. And then everything started blowing up. I was psyched, going well. And then I was doing computing at the time. After A levels as well, do computing. I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I just realised, I just goes, what the fuck am I doing? I just goes like, this is some crack. Like, I just sitting there making tunes. Like, I was like, this is some crack.
Were you still in school and all this stage?
Yeah. Like, literally.
There were people in school.
Before
people
COVID.
in school knowing like, oh, fuck, here you're saying Gabriel's blowing up. Like,
well, see, people I went to an all boys school, so A levels, people started finding out how to make music in A level. And they didn't actually say anything bad about it. To be fair, from an all boys school, like, you get guff. Like,
it's an all boys school. It's tough. Yeah.
When you make YouTube videos, you get guff. So when they found out I made music, like, it wasn't bad. I didn't upload anything really terrible. I uploaded stuff that was approved by channels and stuff. So they were like, "Oh, it's actually not like it's actually good." Like, I was like, "Oh, cheers." Nothing else said. But then obviously January 2020 just started taking off, and then I was in tech doing the computing thing. I was a foundation degree or whatever, and then just started going off, and I was like, "What am I doing this for?" Like, so I just stopped doing my work and started doing more music, and then obviously COVID hit and lockdowns hit. The first lockdown. Oh my God! I mean, I was on fire. Didn't leave my room. Do you know you could only like leave like a mile radius? What was it, like a few mile radius?
Yeah.
The only place I drove to was to the butcher's in town to get steaks. I swear to God, like, it was just, I don't know, a real bad steak obsession. Like, I was just going to get a steak and then come back and then just sit and make music all day, every day. And I just didn't stop for ages. And then it just started blowing up. And then I got to the point where I was releasing a track, like, literally, like, every 2 weeks.
That's not
like,
nice.
You know, a song, Our Life?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I made that, I think, about an hour and a half.
What?
I was just so sad. I was like, this is such a tune. I was like, I can get this out sharp. Like, I didn't want the flame to die. Do you know what I mean? At the time, I was so sick. I was like, yeah, get that up. Like, it wasn't even, like, for anyone who makes music and you listen to it, because from a producer side, you can tell it's not properly mixed. And, like, still sounds good to, like, a listener, if you know what I mean. But I just uploaded it, like, and then I just had it up, like, and next minute I was just pumping out tunes, like.
I remember there's a stage in TikTok. My favorite TikTok she ever made was like, "This is how you make a tune. I'll absolutely slap." That was like the start of every video, and they're just getting tossed out.
I was just tossing them out. I was just saying, I goes, what's an art? Because I love, like, making tracks based on artists. So I tell my mates, tell me a track, like, tell me an artist, and I'll make a track like them. So they would like pull out, like, just how you can name, like, MK or something. And I'd be like, yeah, no bother. And then I just make a TikTok, and I start thinking, I goes, what if I was clashing the gas? I was like, this is if MK and such made a track, Calvin Harris, and then boom, My Heart was born, and then labels was like, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was mad. Like, I learned a lot about the music industry in a really short space of time, but I got so panicked and stressed and, like, so overwhelmed by it, I wasn't focused. Do you know what I mean?
Were you, like, caught up in, like, sort of was it sort of like blowing up quicker than you could sort of handle it, sort of thing, or
like, obviously it wasn't going mental, but it was not mental enough for me to be like,
it went from nothing.
I was taking every opportunity instead of thinking each opportunity through. Like, I had each record label fighting for certain tracks, but then when they started fighting for the tracks, I started changing them because I didn't like them. Then I started overthinking, and then they didn't want the tracks anymore because I changed them, and I was like, but I don't like the first version. And then I soon realized, I was like, right, these labels aren't actually going to go anywhere because they said keep in touch. So I just kept in touch the whole time, like, and I just kept pumping out tracks all year, and then got to where we are now, like.
That's
took a wee break, like, but got to where we are now.
Yeah, that's so mad. And then you're saying there you're, like, studying, what is it, like,
music? I do study music production and performance. It's good.
Is it Matt in Belfast?
Yeah, Belfast Matt.
Fuck it, shout out Belfast Matt.
Yeah.
Like, where else the fuck would you be able to, like, actually go and do something like that? Joe, because like the way the stars are sort of aligned for you, like, you're really interested in music. Realistically, you don't want to probably go do a business degree or fucking some other
I had a clue
shit.
what I was doing, like.
So actually study something which I presume there's good value in. Like, you're probably learning stuff and technical bits and all this here.
Technical bits, no, not really.
It's like what do you learn about then?
The like, they're just teaching me, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just random stuff. Like, I thought, see, I go to them, well, what's crack? I have no music qualifications, but I have industry experience. Yeah. Industry experience being me sitting in my room. And I showed them, like, stats, made a portfolio, and goes, this is what I do. What do you think? Would you let me in the course? Foundation degree. I was like, would you let me in?
That is such a big move. Like,
I was like, would you let me in? And they're like, yeah, but you know how to play an instrument? I was like, no, but I can learn if you want. Like, I goes, but surely, like, a synthesizer is an instrument, like, you know, like producing. And I was like, sure, it's a big part of music. And they're like, yeah, let me in the course. And I was like, happy days. Not gonna lie, first year was a bit tough. It's music production and performance, so the performance side I had no interest in. So they're making me, like, learn piano and all. Well, they weren't making me, but I had to, like. Yeah. And I just sat there. I was like, this is absolutely shocking. I like the course, I actually do, but there's a lot of it I found a bit, like, useless.
That's like everything though. Like, see, no matter what courses you do, there's always something that you'll just not like or not be able to relate to. There's bits and pieces for everyone. Like I've literally 4 years into business degree, and I think there's like one module and I was like, oh yeah, it was actually alright. I can take something away from that. Like, so if anyone's hiring, fucking don't look over here. Like,
don't be looking.
I need a grad job in the summer, and that's not how you see that yourself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know. It's just that they do teach a lot of good things. Like, but then again, like, I did learn the odd thing, but not enough, I don't think. Like, I don't think I want to continue learning any more production. You can only learn so much. Yeah. Like, in the production class, I am flying. Like, like, I don't even think I've actually learned anything. I think I actually have learned, like, 2 things from them. Like, but that's it. Like,
but that's not a knock on them. That's just like sort of like people are at different levels and stuff like that. Like,
not knocking them at all. Like, Greg, my tutor, God bless him, he's a legend. Like, he's a DJ as well. Like, he'd be psyched. Like, I'd be sitting there and no one would answer a question in class, so I would just go, Ricky, Bill, do you want to answer it? And I'd be like, yeah, sweet. And then
I never understood that in school. I was always like loud. Obviously, I have a fucking podcast. I've always been loud. But like, were you ever in a class where like people just won't answer, like you said, and you're like, why won't anyone just say the answer? Like, we all know it.
Yeah, everyone freaks. Like, everyone's just sitting there, like, no one's just talking, and I just be sitting there, like, I'm such a chatty person.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't shut up. So I just sitting there, I just let him just shout it out, and he'd be like, "Thank you," and I'd be like, "Yeah, man, can we move on?"
I never got that in school. People just wouldn't answer. It's like, somebody answer questions so we can get on with the fucking rest of our day here. Like,
get on with it. Like,
it's obviously like there's obviously quiet people and shy people. It's like, if I don't answer something, it's because I genuinely haven't got a clue. If I know the answer, I'll just be like, bah, shout it out. Like, it's like, let's get this ball rolling. We used to have a teacher in like accounts, and fuck, I loved him. As soon as he got into the class, he goes, "Right, lads, let's get this wrapped up as quick as possible. We all get to go home." And I was like, that's the sort of teaching I like.
Yeah, just get her done. Like,
and get the fuck out of here. I don't want to be here. You, especially when you're out in, like, I'm out in Georgetown. No one wants to be out there. Like, there's nothing to look at apart from like the standing line. Literally going out the lock. That's it.
Nice wee walk though. Like,
yeah, it's a nice walk. Like, it's cute enough. Like, but apart from that, no. Fuck, get me home.
Get me back to the city.
Yeah. So apart from that, then with like the course you're doing at the minute, any other sort of value in it, or?
We'll currently have to apply for what I'm doing next year. Having a clue. With the way Queens and Ulster are, like, gonna make me do an extra 2 years. Yeah. Like, I don't need it. I should be put in the final year, but just the way they're strict with
and
it. Like,
do you need like a qualification like this to get into music, or is that like a silly question? Depends what you want to do, probably, does it?
Yeah. Like, when I got into the course, they said on the requirements, like, I only looked it up as a laugh. The guy's doing computing, and I goes, I wonder if I just drop out of this and just go do music in September for a laugh. And then I seen that goes, you can get in with such and such or industry experience, and I seen the industry experience. I was like, yeah. I was like, what are you at? I will get so involved with you.
You like flexing them, being like, look at my TikTok, like,
that's my
entry.
Portfolio, and just goes, here you go. And that tutor at the time, who is only teaching me now, but he hasn't taught me last year. He's only teaching me for one of the modules. He was the one who let me into the course, but he didn't know that. I goes, I check my emails, like, David, you're the one who let me in. And he's like, oh my god, am I?
No way.
I was like, yeah, I'm the one, because he did help me with my personal statement. And he was like, oh, that's pretty impressive. And I was like, you're only let me into the course. Like, oh, what was that? I was like,
that's hilarious. Most people doing like their personal statement in Newcastle are being like, I like to play in a sports team. I love to study. I did it. There's like X amount of followers on TikTok.
Literally,
make banging beats.
Yeah, did not talk about anything else. For I just like, right, didn't I like music? Then started like music. Now this. Here we go. What he's letting me in, or what's
it's like what he's at. Like, come on.
But before I did state, I was like, right, I do not know how to play an instrument, but I do know how to produce. Will that sort me out for the course? And they're like, yeah, you should be sweet. No, like, what the fuck? It wasn't enough. Like, it's actually deadly. Like, there's actually a lot of stuff that is so like irrelevant, I think, and stupid. But I guess just like.
Do you know how to play any sort of instrument now? No. Did you pick anything up?
Piano.
Like,
just keys.
Just know where the notes and stuff are. Like,
just like keys. Like, do you know what I mean? If you give me a sheet music, I could maybe do a bit of it. Like, wee bit, not a lot. Like, because I stopped practicing because it's just like, oh, fuck this, I can bad.
But that's so funny. Like, I can completely relate to that. Like, I feel like there's people that are like, Joe, like, they study really hard and they work really hard, something, they get good at it, and then this seems like to you it's just all completely like natural. You just sort of picked it up and was like, fuck it, go for it and see what happens, and it sort of, you land on your feet.
Yeah, see, I thought originally I was going in because I studied film for 4 years. I studied for GCSE and A level.
Yeah,
and I was psyched about it. Like, and then seeing A level, they just milked it out. Like, and I was just like, I am not psyched about film anymore. Like, and I was like, right, fuck, what am I doing in uni here? Like, so I was like, right, we'll try computing for a laugh, and then. Just the computer. I've always loved computers. I always find getting like software's really easy. I'll understand them so quick. So then I was given the music software, and I was like, yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Like, and then just with practice. But to be fair, until I was about 17, from 14 to 17, I just did it the odd time. Like, I barely touched music or anything. I would just do it the odd time I was bored on like a Sunday or something. But then I actually started properly trying in 2020 and really practicing, and now it's just all second nature. Like,
and
there's still so much to learn. Like,
do you think it's come from, like, obviously you've probably been big into music your whole life, like you've sort of like listened to a lot of music. Do you reckon that's where it's come from? Because I know me personally, that's going to sound like blasphemy to yours, I don't listen to music that much, right? I'm a podcast person. I listen to podcasts. That's my like audio thing, right? But like, see when like you have mates and they're like throwing on like everyone's been in a situation where you go to like a preach or something, they're like, oh, do you want to go on Ox? I was like, I ain't got the music to cover this. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then you have that one way he goes, oh, I've got enough to do it fucking to 6 a.m. in the morning. Like, you're like that guy, I presume.
I became that guy. I wasn't at all before. Like I said, I literally was just like, how is music made? And then I started making it. Like, like there's no like mad story of like, yeah, when I was like 4 years old and all, I just was love blessed with a piano. And like, I hadn't a clue. Like I only found out my mom actually knew how to play piano. She went to music school. I only found that out like when I was like 15. I was like, right, like no one of my this is like crazy. No one of my family is shocked or like questioning that I try going into music here. Like, like I've been doing computers that. They want to be a solicitor and all this crap. Like,
everyone wants that though.
Like they're always like, you need to do this, that. Like, no one like ever questioned or was like, why are you doing music? They just kind of accepted it. Like, they didn't. I thought what I was questioning. I go to my granny. I was my granny like a few months ago. Like, why are you not questioning like that? I just went into music like randomly. Like, they're not scared. They're just like, oh, it's good for you. And I was like, I know, but like, what the fuck? Sure,
If a granny gives you a blessing, you are fucking sweet. You are sorted. Like,
I was just shocked. Like, I was like, surely one of you is really like, but like, how the fuck did he get into music?
it helps though. It helps though when you actually have done well out of it, or like starting to do well, and people see a bit of traction from it. Like, see whenever you're like doing something, and people are like, "What are you at?" Like, there's no traction. You're not building anything. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere. And also, if someone listens to something and goes, "You're also shit," dude. Like, it happens. Like, people think they're fucking class at some things, and they're not.
Yeah, like I used to be a wee YouTube boy back in the day when I was youth, like YouTube gamer, uploading vids. So I knew the crack with like making like decent content.
Yeah.
So I knew when I was starting to upload music, I wasn't gonna half-ass it. Like, so I just made it look professional. Just kept it all clean. You know, I wasn't like doing it wrong, so people could give me guff, or people would be like, "He's not even trying."
What sort of games and all were you playing back in the day?
Call of Duty montages,
Love it.
Minecraft.
Love it.
I mean, God knows how many we uploaded. It was good crack. Like.
How many days of your life have you spent playing Minecraft? I know. I don't even want to think about it. Like,
like I'd say so much. Do you still get the odd phase in the year? Like every once a year,
Yeah.
you would get the phase where all the boys meet up and you just play Minecraft. We did it in our Holy Land's house there before New Year's. Just all goes right by. So we just get 4 controllers here and just get going. And I goes, yeah, well, so I put my priv. I was like, here, any man for 4 controllers, like, or I needed 3. I was like, any man 3 Xbox controllers. Got sorted. I went, got the goods, like, got a few drinks, like. We were just playing Minecraft till about 4 in the morning. It was some crack, like, and that's our Minecraft done for 2020.
literally can't. You can't beat that feeling of like, especially you've moved up. You're in your first year now, like living up in Belfast, living in the Holy Lands, aren't you?
Yeah, Holy Lands.
What's that like?
It's something like definitely something. I obviously went up for parties and stuff before I moved up, so I was familiar with it. Like, but see, living up, just crazy. Like, just constant action. See, past 1 o'clock in the morning, people coming home from the Hatfield. My house gets a serious touch. Like, we just pray to God no one's rapping our door. Like we hear by screaming across the street. I'm like, oh my God, my car is gonna get such a touch here. Like, does the odd time, like Wingmere got a good touch, but that's Holy Lands for you. Like.
That's what you're signing up for. Like, when you see when people go in and be like, this house is shit, goes, well, what do you expect? Like
it's Holy Lands.
That's the reason you're living here. Oh, my Wingmere. I mean, what are we doing here?
Of course, I woke up and laughed. I wasn't even like really angry. I just woke up. First thing I did was take a video of the Wingmere, and I just went LOL, and then just fixed it and just drove off. Just still leave my car there any day. Like,
it's like Joe. People I've seen, like, there's girls that like do like daddies want to get like a fucking class car and like park in Holy Lands. So like, are you well in the head? Like
what are you doing?
Yeah,
like,
and to go to Queens or something, you're like, you could fucking walk, just get dropped off and get a bus.
It just dropped outside like Jerusalem Street, like, and it's literally just like this 19 Audi, like, just sitting there. And I just look at it, I'm like, that is gonna get a serious touch. Like, and you come back and there's just like screen smashed. And all, like,
it's like them girls that come up and they get out of their car and they've got like, for some reason, a wheelie suitcase. What the fuck? You're going to Belfast for a week? You live somewhere.
Out,
a wheelie suitcase. The worst kind of person. I can't stand that. Like, I'm living out of the Holy Lands now, but like, looking back on it, someone actually wrote in a question as well. We're just gonna hit these while we'll come up. Someone wrote a question on the Q&A saying, do you think the Holy Lands is overrated?
Do you know what? I think it's some crack. I think just like we're giving it, like, do you know what I mean? Like, everywhere has its place. Like, England has its party spots. This is ours. Like, just embrace it. Like, it may not be the most bougie or like, but it's like just what you grow up with, what you be telling. Like, it's the stories get passed down. Sure, if you look at like any of your older mates who went to Belfast, they tell you the Holy Land stuff, and now I'm living it.
Like, literally, my dad, like, whenever he came up to visit me like 2 years ago, he goes, "Oh, see that house over there?" It was like on Carmen Street. He goes, "I live in that house." I goes, "That's fucking rotten."
Yeah,
like,
weird. Like,
how old are these houses? Like,
I know they're ancient, absolutely
stinking. I was like, I bet you still the same paint, the same fucking everything on the walls.
Rough.
Like,
absolutely rough. Like, our Holy Land's house actually is not that bad.
Do you just keep it all right? Like,
yeah, we actually do. You know what? For 4 bays, like, we actually keep it so sweet. Like, it's actually clean. Don't rack it, and anytime we have parties and all, like, it's just not racked. Everything's sweet. Like, we're with Eminem as well.
Oh fuck, good luck.
I know. Not getting into that. But he likes us.
Does he like us?
Yeah, he actually does.
We'll see at the end of the year when it comes to getting your deposit back if you have the same fucking view.
Yeah, couldn't see us getting the deposit back. Like,
oh, geez. See if you actually just beat the jump, be like, we're just gonna rack the house so much that we don't care about a deposit, and sort of
just let him know. Like, he's terrifying. Like,
is he?
Yeah, he is actually so haunting. Like, he just comes in and you just can't get a word in him. You're like, fuck. Like, he just comes in the kitchen and he just walks in. He's like, well, and he makes you follow him around the house when he's showing you like what's wrong and all. I'm like, shit, like doing laps and all, me in the shorts, like just early hours in the morning. Like, he's actually terrifying.
I know boys that have said, like, do you know the way, like, you sort of, like, people get their disputes and stuff with, like, their landlords and, like, shit, threatening to take them to court or whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently he fucking loves it. Like, see when the people are like, I'm going to sue you over this, he goes, fucking come, bring it. He lives for it.
Yeah,
he absolutely loves it. Like, he's like, inject that into my veins. Just give me it, like.
If I was his age, like, and I was just ruling, like, I mean.
King of the Holy Lands, like, he is actually the King of the Holy Lands.
Like, he just darts around in that massive Merc. Like, have you seen his Merc?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, always on the phone, just darting around, just going about the place. Like,
constant business.
Always a buzz, all buzz. is no talk. Like, he's so busy. And I just sit there. I was like, you know what, fair play, just let the man go. Like,
Yeah.
we always hype each other up to talking to them. So we're like, right, we're going to say this to them, we're going to say this to them. Make sure we're bringing that up. He comes in the house. I literally go to the room. Like, I'm in the room. I was like, you guys chat away. Like, freaking out. Or I'd nip to the shop and they'd be like, oh, he came over. I'd be like, oh, no way, did he? No way. Definitely.
He just knew he's going to land. Just get the fuck out of there. Like,
I am gone.
Actually, I don't even blame you because, like, but like, see, for like a group of boys, I actually find that like it depends on who you live with. It makes the situation good. Like, say you said like you sort of sticking. Like, I've been in houses where like there's just every dish stacked, hey, blue mold on it. I'm sure people listening have seen the same. Like, but got to the stage in my house, and the boys I live with were relatively clean, but I can be very clean. Like, I just, if you've had food, just clean the fucking plate. Like, do you know what I mean? Got to the stage where I actually just took one plate, one set of fork, one knife, one thing up to the room, and just, if they left it sitting out for more than 2 days, it went straight to the skip. They had no plates. Like, where's the plates? I was like, buy paper ones. I don't care anymore.
They just disappear. Like, everything just, at the start we were so like, you know, paper towels in the kitchen. We were psyched about them. That lasted a good whole week. Like, and now you're just freaking about like wiping stuff down. And, it's just a nightmare. Like,
oh fuck yeah! Even with COVID, I haven't even thought, because I'm living with my girlfriend now. Like, you're not even thinking of like where your mates have been or like people coming into your house and all.
Oh, you just can't accept.
You
it.
just
like, you just
they're
can't move
worse
on.
than the Holy Lands and fucking COVID.
Yeah, like, it is an absolute torture. Like, but do you know what? It's sweet. It's party life. Like, it's uni life. You just have to have the crack. Like,
that's it. I suppose you're lucky too that you actually got up in good year, because like if you think about it, there was literally 2 batches of freshers rolled into this year when things actually opened up again, so it was absolute chaos.
Yeah, freshers was mental. Like, it was absolutely
people
mental.
were queuing to get into Thompson's. I remember one of the boys from my football team telling me queuing to get into like 7 o'clock. They were like, we
were
went
there from about 5:30, 6. Like, I remember driving the girls up and it was like 6:30. I was like, you are not getting in.
That's not wise.
Yeah.
That's not fun to me.
No.
Like,
I love going out like 10:30. Like, leaving the house 10:30.
Do you ever go to like a foreign place, like even in England to do it, like, or like on holidays in like Spain or something, and the club's open at like 1?
Yeah,
you're like, that's class.
Free for like 4 hours and then you're out.
I know, what was the big one we went to whenever we went to BCM? It was called in Magaluf. You ever heard of it? No. Oh my god, this place was like the spot in Magaluf. Like, it's closed now, but it was like the absolute fucking spot. And over there they do like what do you call it? Is it Rushkoff vodka? Rushkoff vodka, and this vodka is so cheap that they use it to clean the floors instead of bleach.
I've heard about.
Right.
Think I've heard about this. I think I've heard about
this
that.
Rushkoff vodka. I mean, like, you come back, you can't. It's like a Rushkoff fucking cough is an actual thing. Like, this vodka is so shit, but it's like all the serve you pay like, I think it was like €30 and all your drinks included in that.
Yeah. So
you just go in and it's fucking mad, women everywhere, like fucking shot girls, everything, and like just mad scenes. But like, it starts at like 1. So you're already fucked by the time you win. You pay your €30 and you're unlimited drinks. It's just it's the ultimate recipe for a mess. Like,
literally.
But the best.
Recipe, like.
We seen someone good in it. I don't know if it was good, but it was someone like, I can't remember. It was like it was a proper DJ too, like someone that was in like the charts. I was just like,
Jill Corey?
No,
where'd you go?
Fuck.
What year?
Oh fuck, we went. We were 18. So how long was that? 5 years ago. Like, it was.
I don't even know who it would have been about 5 years ago. Going about like
it was 2 people.
Disclosure?
No,
wouldn't have been disclosure.
Was it? It was someone. It was like a duo. It was like 2 people, but like, I can't remember. I'm so bad. That's what I mean. I'm really bad at music. Like, really.
I
bad.
actually didn't even know that. But no, I try listening to podcasts more myself.
Do you?
Yeah.
What sort of stuff do you like to listen to?
2021 start of it, nearly throughout the whole thing. I was actually big on like mindset stuff and like listening, because I never really listened to it, but see, like, going for a walk and just having like something on about like improving your mindset or new skills and stuff. I was psyched about that. I would only ever listen to stuff like that. I would judge a podcast a lot on its voice.
On the way the tone of voice, just
not the tone of voice, but like how they talk and like what they say. If you know what I mean. So I like listen for like 10 minutes, and if they're like talking in a weird way, I'll just turn it off and I just go back to the usual. Like, listen to this guy called Rob. Can't remember his second name. The Mindset Mentor, he's called. He's actually sick. The Mindset Mentor is. Is
he like a tan guy? No, is he really tan?
I
There's loads of boys that got like. Oh, so it's just podcast. You probably don't see him.
Yeah. I think he's tan. Yeah, you might actually be right.
Black hair. See, there's boys on TikTok. I always see doing that sort of stuff.
I think podcasts are deadly. Like, we were always deciding to start one in Holy Lands. Like,
oh, we
were gonna just talk.
I was so on that. I was like, that would, like, the Holy Lands podcast would be fucking amazing.
Oh, it'd be lethal.
Or even like, I always just thought, like, do the way people do these content houses, like a Holy Lands content house would be fucking mad. It'd be very hard to get all your boys to do one. Like, but
I think there was one.
Really?
I can't mind. Yeah, there was one down south. There was one down south in Ireland. There was a load of Irish ones, and they got in the house, but then it quickly escalated, because they were just like, when you think about it, you're literally putting a load of young ones in it. Like, you're basically putting students in a house, and you're just telling them to do whatever. Like,
yeah,
and, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
not really gonna
like, let's be honest, you can't document absolutely everything that goes on in a student house. Like,
literally couldn't.
It's pretty incriminating.
Oh, it's so incriminating. Like, Not saying that anything
No.
we do is incriminating.
But what other people do.
Yeah,
other people do.
What other people do. It's what other people do. Yeah.
Definitely. couldn't be me.
No, definitely couldn't be me. Definitely none of us boys.
No.
All good lads.
But then talk to me then about like being a student now, because as I said, like I'm in my final year, I'm getting old, I'm trying to do all these other fucking things now, like so I'm sort of past the fresher stage. But like, see that everything's closed now. How just try summing up in like a few words how frustrating it is, especially in the industry you're in too.
Shocking, false hope. Just a fair few words. Freshers was okay. We still, to be fair, we still gave it a rattle for what we could, and going out at the absolutely weird times that you could go out. Like it was good. Street parties were kind of class, like, but it was all like the first year ones. Do you know what I mean? Like my ones are all going into the final year and stuff. Like, so it was just a bit weird. We were all load of young ones just darting around, hadn't a clue about the Holy Land.
Yeah.
Like, I just kind of was like, I didn't even bother half the time. Like we were just like the kind of part of your own house. Well, freshers are alright. I think the biggest thing over living in Belfast was AVA.
Yeah.
I was psyched about AVA.
Yeah.
It's probably the best 2 days of my whole 2021.
When was that?
It was
September, no?
October.
Was it?
Yeah. I think it was like October, end of September. I can't even mind, but it was unbelievable. It was like some show.
And that was like the first sort of like back to normality sort of thing, wasn't it too? Like it was, the timing of it was like impeccable.
Oh, the weather was class. It wasn't cold, wasn't like it was just everything you wanted. And I just had the best 2 days ever. Like day 2 was completely sober.
Really?
Day 2 went completely sober. Just like, to be fair, I did drink a fair bit.
Were you dying?
No, because I didn't really sleep.
Oh, right, okay.
The first day, like, I didn't really sleep, like, but we were just that psyched. And I went day 2 and I arrived and I was like, right, I am doing this completely sober. I take it, and then it's like, fuck it. And then just me and one of my mates, Andrew, he's producer as well. Me and him just kind of darted around different stages, seeing different.
Do you go to that in a different mindset to the average fucking Joe that goes out? Like you're going there to really appreciate. And like it's like
I was psyched.
It's like how do I went to like this was the saddest thing I've ever done in my life, and I don't even care. I went to Colin Gettis last week in the SSE Arena on my own. Went to a comedy show in an arena.
That's unreal.
Well, but I'm not gonna lie, I did sit down and I went, this is kind of sad that I'm here on my own, but it's like it's almost like a marketing sort, like a research project almost. And like
that's the way I always look at it. Yeah.
You're looking at it, and it's almost like do you remember you used to like school trips?
Yeah.
And like it's like an educational thing.
Yeah.
I go out and it's like I'm going to enjoy this, but I'm also going to like sort of take note and like sort of clock
Just
what's going
see how
on
it
here.
goes,
Like
yeah.
so, while in my head I sort of like for the first I was like, this is weird, I'm here on my own. But then afterwards, like, oh no, actually, I'm appreciating a lot more than everyone else that's here. But a similar thing for you, like FA and stuff like that.
Yeah, day 2, walking around sober, literally going to the bar to get a cup of Coke, and literally just walk the stage.
That's going to be taken out of context.
Coca-Cola, going to listen to music and have a good time. I've actually went out sober a load of times because I would be living at home. But obviously people live in Belfast and there's a DJ I want to see, but we couldn't get a lift. So I'd be like, right, I drive, use all drink, but I just really want to see him. So I'd go completely sober.
No way.
Have everyone drinking, but I just drive us all home. But I'd just be so psyched to see DJ and just be revved, like.
That's actually hilarious. Like,
it's unreal. Like it pays off every time. Like you just because you can actually appreciate it. Like, and you're not getting on like a spa. Like you're just. I don't know, like you said, research project.
Yeah,
you're still enjoying the music, but you are just taking notes.
It's literally like watching through a different window than everyone else is looking, and it's a completely different perspective. Like, and like everyone obviously just there getting fucking fucked up and having a good time, whatever. You're literally sitting there engaging on every single thing that's happening. Like,
no hate to anyone who's getting like fucked
no,
up these
not
events,
at all.
like, but just like I mean, it was just so good to hear like music like that just normally. Like I remember after day 2 of AV, actually, me and Andrew, when we got back, we were completely sober, me and him. So we just went back to mine, started making tunes at like 1 a.m. It took us ages to get back. Started making tunes like 1 a.m, and we were gonna finish off the collab at some stage. Like it's sick. Like we just got so like inspired.
Do you find that it's sort of like then hard when you're listening to music to just fully appreciate it the way other people do? Like, are you always in that mode of like sort of trying to take something out of it?
Yeah. Sometimes it kind of like. When I be like watching a set, and I be like something's done wrong, or something like when I hear stuff on the radio, like anyone who's in the car with me, I'll give off. They haven't a clue what I'm on about, like, and I'm just like, see up by there. I was like, oh, that's absolutely shocking. Like, I'm like, why do you do that? And then they're just like, what are you on about? And I was like, no, never mind. It's so sweet. Like, never mind. I hold it in, but I just get annoyed. Like,
I find when it's audio things too, it's so much more triggering.
Yeah.
Like you can watch things and you can sort of like do that. People look for them like movie mistakes, and it's not that big a deal or whatever. It's so insignificant. But when you hear something, there's a trigger goes off in your brain, and it's like you said,
kills your vibe. Like you're just kind of like you're smiling, and you just kind of go completely like, that's right.
It's literally in your brain. Like you're just like, what the fuck did that happen? Like it ruined your day. Like
yeah, your night's gone. Like your night's just so gone. Like one thing I get bad with is SoundCloud songs, SoundCloud remixes. Like obviously growing up, you listen to a lot of SoundCloud tunes. Like, you would only play drinking tunes through your phone on SoundCloud. But see, people like a lot. If you play them now a lot, like they're rough. They are made rough. Like they are they're just harsh at it. It's like they're just not made well. But there's still some crack when you wrote off. You don't care. Like you're still gonna have a crack. Like, but see, when I've been like sober and I hear them, and I was like, or maybe sister be playing them with her mates, and I just hear downstairs the racket. Like I just go downstairs and I goes, "Can you actually stick on a good tune?" Like I just be like, "What?" Like,
Gee, that's just be like, "Where's my SoundCloud?" Fuck.
I'd be like, "Just stick on that." Oh, it is rough. She would play my SoundCloud in the house, like.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you get scunnered when people play
she
music?
Do it like unironically. Like she actually plays it. Like,
Yeah.
And
Part of her like playlist.
She's and I was like, I could just be sitting in the room or in the shower and I can just hear in the next room one of my songs. I'd be like, oh, get out of here, like.
Does that annoy you?
I go wee, but like when people.
Do you get a bit scunnered when people sort of bring up music and stuff?
Not scunnered. Well, it depends how they bring it up. If they're actually like dead on about it, then yeah, it's sweet. Like, but if they're just kind of like, you know what people are like from Northern Ireland, like just take the piss. Like when you try to do anything creative or out of the norm of GA or whatever people do.
Whatever people do here.
Yeah, but like it is a bit scundering, like, and you're just whatever, just take it in the chin. Like I just laugh about it. I never get annoyed or anything. I would never like, do you know what I mean? But sometimes you're just like, all right.
The biggest one I get is like people like see over Christmas time they're like, oh, fair play for doing stand up, and I just be like, like I don't know what to do with myself. Like
you don't know. I'd be like, oh yeah, cheers.
Cheers, yeah. Like we'll just handshake or something. I don't know what I'd be like. As I said, I love telling people and like see like the likes of this and all perfectly fine. But see, whenever I'm like 1-to-1 with someone I really don't know that well or not comfortable, I'm not in my environment. Like out in a pub, I'm not there. Like I don't want to talk to that person.
No.
Yeah, it's
I
really
did not expect that.
it's
I
really
didn't
weird.
expect
Like if I'm up for the crack and I'm like sort of in like a social circle, that's fine. But like see the mates I have, like I would struggle very hard to like actually make a click with new people. Do it. Some people go on a night out and it's all like business, and then you keep in contact with the person forever.
Yeah.
If I don't get that sense straight away from someone, I won't speak to them for a very long time. Like, or just feel really awkward or something. It's like I think I overthink it in my head. I think the whole thing over too much, being like, oh, that person definitely like, what the fuck's he on about?
Yeah, no.
Or like, you say one thing.
I didn't know. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah,
I just thought quite the opposite.
No, like, see the biggest thing about like stand-up comedy. I see the talking to the room bit, right? No problem anymore. That's fine. If I've had like 7 or 6 goes at it, fine, right? See, actually going backstage and talking one-to-one with the comedians.
Yeah.
I'd rather dig a hole and die. It's the weirdest thing ever.
I
but
did
like,
not expect that. I thought it'd be
you recently had your experience, didn't you, with like a first live gig down south, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
Like, were you not absolutely pooping the cacks?
I mean, I have never experienced more like. And keep in mind that prior to that show, a week before, I was literally doing an assignment on performance anxiety, and I literally like was learning. Like I swear now, like I was literally doing an assignment on performance anxiety. It's part of our task, and I literally sat there the whole time. I wasn't even thinking about it. Like from when I got the text, we were going a night out. Where were we going? It was I actually genuinely think it was Evier, and then I got a message from John Gibbons, one of the people I did a collab with, and he goes, "You're playing at this festival." And I sat there at the pre-drinks. He goes, Smitty's one of my mates. I go, Smitty, come here. And he'd be psyched about the tunes, like he'd love the tunes. I'd be like, Smitty, come here. And I'd be like, what? And I'd be like, look out there. And he's like, oh my god. And I goes, oh my god. Like half caught seeing this, I was freaking. I started having a panic attack. Like I sat in the bathroom. I was like, getting tight and all. I was like, oh my god, I actually have to play this. And I keep in mind, I have no clue about down south. Don't know any of the towns. Don't know what's going on. Haven't a clue what this festival is. I thought it was way bigger than it was. It was still sick. Best, like probably the best environment I could ever do for a show. But I just thought I was panicking. Like,
what was it making you panic? Because like people have the perception that you're a DJ, you press play and it goes.
Oh no, like it's just so much going on. like I could tell you from like only joining the DJ club type side. Like there's so much that goes on. Like obviously, like it depends where you are and what venue you are. But if you're like DJing a house party, on no hassles, like I'll give me a deck at a house party, I will rock the place. Like I'll be rude off. Like, just naked vodkas, psyched. But when it came to actually playing a show, I was fine. And then I remember for the pre-drinks for the show, we rented an Airbnb. This is actually a really good story. You appreciate this here, like. So we would we rented an Airbnb, right? And originally she was only taking 6 people in the Airbnb, but there was like 12 of us going. I mean, up north, going down south, like we're taking 12 of us.
Yeah,
it's like 3 cars, and then obviously I messaged her. I goes, "Here, you wouldn't be able to squeeze in all 6 people." She goes, "Yeah, send a home will." I goes, "No way,
no way."
So all of us in this one house, and this woman, she's an older woman, like, and she was like a granny, like she was an absolute legend. And we came into the house, and she stayed with us.
So there was 12 people on the ground.
So she stayed with us. So she was in the living room, we were in the kitchen drinking away, and I brought the decks into the kitchen, and I was prepping for the show, like practicing, make sure all the tunes were right. and we were all just drinking away. And then 3 or 4 of her mates come in into the Airbnb that we've paid for unrented. Like, I mean, this is like our property.
So is it like she owns the house and you're in like a room in it, or you had the whole place?
We have the whole place, but she was supposed to go to her sister's to stay for the night.
Oh, right, okay.
Because that's how she works it. But she never ended up leaving. So we ended up drinking in the kitchen. She came into the kitchen with us, and then 3 of her, or I think it was 3 or 4 of her like friends came in, but they were like 40. They were mums, like you know what I mean. Like we came in, us lads about 20, like, and we just look. I was DJing at the kitchen, and I just looked to my right, like, and I just see them. I was like, guys, what is going on? And they just start dancing with us and partying with us and drinking away, like, us all getting cut, like. It got to the point where I was like 4 beer deep, and I was like, right, I need to stop drinking here because I am gonna absolutely, like, I forgot I have a show to play. I got so psyched, like, DJ in the kitchen. I was like, I used to 10 beers, and then she ended up drinking us and never leaving the house. So she was absolutely polaxed. We were all wrote, like, she ordered us this bus. We got a bus to the place. I turned up the event. It was all good. It was class. Like, it was sick. There was an outdoor stage, like a proper stage, and then we were upstairs in this party room that was going on to 2 in the morning. It was supposed to go on to 1, but it went on to like 2, and then just down south, you know, like a random town down south, like literally they just don't care. And we got in, and I just heard the tunes going, and I was shitting it, like I was. But I was only shitting it for about 5 minutes, and then once I actually got in there, I was just like getting loosened up, like just like seeing what the vibe was. And then I looked at the DJ decks, right, and I have never used such high standard equipment, right, ever. And I told him this prior to the show. I goes, I have not used this type of equipment before, right? Like, and he goes, no, you be grand. So I watched about 3 hours worth of tutorials before going up. I sort of like in the room we were standing there, maybe I watched about 3 hours of tutorials over and over the same tutorial, and then got there, and then my mates were basically going up to the bar saying my name to get free drinks, and it worked twice, but then they started getting in trouble for it, like,
oh fuck's sake.
And then
can't take him anywhere.
No, literally can't take him anywhere, like. And I was like, right, you guys calm down, like, bringing a bad name to the north here, bringing a bad name.
Especially there's 12 years, like.
Yeah, like, people think you just go up there and click play, but it's completely different.
There's
like,
so much more to it.
There's so much more to it, like reading the crowd, and especially that it wasn't that type of crowd where it's like a festival crowd where like they know who's playing, so they're expecting them tunes. It was just kind of like, it was just a club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just a club vibe, like, so we were just kind of playing whatever, but I did make mistakes up there.
Oh, did you? Like, what sort of happened? What sort of things? The music didn't cut, did it? Like, didn't go like...
No, it didn't cut, but so pretty much me and John did a back-to-back set. It was originally only supposed to be me. He was only coming and play for a bit, and then it was me the rest of the time.
Right.
But when I looked at the equipment, and so me and him started playing, right, and he introduced me, came in and stuff, and he introduced me, I came up the stage, and then I noticed that the 2 sides of the DJ deck, so there's one's my side. Well, if I was playing by myself, they'd both be my side, but since we were back-to-back, I looked and I couldn't see what he was doing on his side because it wasn't linked to the other one.
Yeah.
So technically, if you think about it, you're just going blind. Like, I have to, and you can't.
You're playing split screen.
Literally, like, you're playing split screen, but the other screen's covered.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what's going on. Like, and I couldn't hear. I need to see what he's doing in order to get my tracks to mix in smoothly. I couldn't see what he was doing. Couldn't hear myself think. The speakers going mental. People from the audience were coming up backstage, like behind me, and like hugging me and all. And they were the first show, and I was sweating buckets. You see some of the photos, sweating buckets. Like, I mean, I was so nervous. And no, I was loosened up though. Like, but see, once I realized that I couldn't actually play fully the show by myself, I asked them to stay on for the full thing. I go, stay on, just help me through it. Yeah. Because my first time, I was like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Nerves got to me, and once I realized I didn't know how to fix that problem of I couldn't see what he was doing, I just had to help. Like, it didn't help me, but it was mental. It was some content. It was
is that the last sort of live thing you've done?
Yeah. Like, that's kind of all we got. Like, and then sure, they went back into lockdown,
and then the world ended. Yeah, fuck me.
And then they went back into lockdown. So
that's so strange because it seems so opposite for you to be like approached by like, well, to my brain it seems opposite. You produced some songs, you got producers, you got people involved with you, but you weren't actually out doing live stuff. That seems really backwards.
Yeah, everyone's all said, "Oh, goes, oh, what shows have you played?" And I goes, well, my music thing kicked off first lockdown, so like it kicked off during lockdown, so no clubs were open. But it wasn't talks with like clubs and stuff, and like, oh, would you come play this, come play that when lockdowns were? I was like, yeah. But never did, because it obviously never opened up. And then obviously after a few months, you lose contact with them, you start becoming, I guess, in their eyes, irrelevant. Yeah. And you know what I mean, whatever. Because
it seems like the sort of perfect mix if you think about it. Like, you were coming up here, you're going to study music, you're producing these songs, people really liked you, you started getting a bit of a following, stuff like that there, you're a student. Yeah. Like, it would have been the perfect mix for like the student nights out and blah, 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 blah. But obviously just the fucking way of the world. Like,
we had like all the guys I was living, we had a plan in our heads on how this was going to be. Like, right, we're all going to move in this house. Gav's going to become a DJ. It's going to be absolutely fucking sick. I was like, you're going to be a legend. I was so excited. I was like, yeah, mate, we've got a plan going here. And then we went to the Belfast, right? So we can't go. So I was like, we have to sit at the table here. Like, absolutely ridiculous. But Well, there's a few places in Belfast. Hopefully, when clubs start opening again, hope to get a residency going.
Yeah.
And get out playing proper
So
music
mad.
that I like. But
So what is it? What does proper music you like look like? Like what does that sound, or what does that sound like? Probably a better question.
few influences. Who can I even think of? Like, I love Camel Fat.
Okay.
I love darker stuff. I love stuff with a bit more like meaning to it than just pop stuff. I'm sick of pop stuff. I don't listen to it like ever.
So does that mean, like, as I said, not very musical, but there is people going to be fucking music ears listening to this. Does that mean like you're going to get rid of like it's just going to be beats? There's going to be no like backing track, or like there's going to be no singing involved, or like what does that mean?
So pretty much in genre wise, what I was making was just deep house and commercial house.
Yeah.
But now I want to go into more of a like techno stage in a way, not real full mod like rip techno where your ears are just bothering
Yeah.
me. Something like, you know, Bicep and stuff like like they are amazing.
I was at Bicep and Telegraph.
What do you think?
Fucking mad.
Like that is what I would
Mad.
love to do. Like see the visuals on in time with everything. It's an actual show. I don't want to like. I know a lot of people who make music just want to be a club DJ. Well, maybe they don't, but that's where like it leads you to, if you know what I mean, making that type of music. But I want to go into a sense where I want to make it my own show.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
I want to make my own performance. So something that would people see me for, and they'd be like, "Oh, he plays a sick show, like sick visuals."
Do you know what
like,
sticks to mind there straight away? We went to just around the corner from here, Eric Prids. Like do like the whole light show and like everything like that.
Literally,
I will never forget that day. I wasn't even that fucking steaming at that event because the sort of same thing happened to you. And this before I got into all this sort of stuff, I was just like, this is fucking mental.
the hologram.
The
show,
holograms and all
I was
is
at it as well. It was brilliant. Like
I've never seen. I didn't even know what to expect because all the boys were like, as I said, I'm not that big into the music, but they all are like, here, mate, this is the one you have to fucking go to.
yeah, this is what I mean. That type of presence. That you're like, you don't even like that type of music, but you would go and you still have a good time. That's what I want to kind of bring. You know what I mean? Like that's. I could see myself doing it, like, but it's just going to take a while. It's just going to take a bit of building.
It's good though that you sort of have that vision now because it's easy. It's so hard, even just like if you're not into. It's just hard to find yourself. Never mind if you want to be creative or find like a tone or like a brand to put out there. It's so hard to distinguish yourself. Like, my brother always gives me stick. I do like the vlogs and stuff like that as well for like the stand up, and he's like, the way you go on sometimes just isn't you. And I'm like, do you know how difficult it is to capture yourself on like in a moment, like in a recording and all? And he's just like, yeah, no, but like just be natural. It's like it's not that easy to do.
Yeah, people don't actually realize how like difficult it is, and I say fair play to anyone who does it, gets a camera out or records himself doing anything they like.
Yeah,
because that takes absolute balls, especially in Northern Ireland. It takes balls to do. Like, and do you know what I mean? Look at people who've done it properly, like influencers and stuff like what they are now. Like. Like you'd be stupid not to, you know what I mean? If that's what you like, you'd be stupid not to go for it. Like,
the way I look at it is, it's like, look at how many dickheads are out there that have like sort of made a name for themselves or done something. And I'm not saying I'm any better than them, but like I could be that dickhead. You could be that dickhead. Like why could you not?
Person. Like,
why could you not be?
If you want to be that person, just be the person. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can do it. Like just don't doubt yourself just because of like you're scared to do it or you care what other people think. Like
that's if there's one thing I'll never get over in this podcast, I must say it every single episode. If you're in that position where you care what other people think, it's beyond nonsense. Like
literally, it's what I say to everyone. Ever always have said, do not care what other people think. It's going to get you absolutely nowhere. And if people are chatting shit about you here, they're chatting about you. Like they're talking about you.
We were literally talking about this, like people talking about you as a small area and news moves quickly. Look at it that way, that's a fucking good thing. It's not always a bad thing. It's like, oh, small town syndrome, you know, everyone's talking about you, bad mouthing you. It's like, but they're talking about you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I always say to myself, if someone's saying something bad about you, they must have a really shitty life. Like, to be like, you must really be in their head for them to be that. Like,
oh, absolutely, I love it. If I'm in your head rent free, I would love it. Like,
literally, like if they're sitting there like slating you or something, like yeah, thank God I haven't heard anything.
Yeah,
like, do you know what I mean? Like if someone's slating you or something, you're just like, geez, your life must be absolutely crap. Like if you're just sitting there, that's all you think about. Like you must have not going.
I just always would rather be the person you're talking about. If I ever find myself in a situation where I was like, status, I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah, you know what I mean? You're just like, what?
Never mind being the guy that then thinks it and then goes on to like your fucking comment section under your TikTok or like YouTube or whatever and be like, who do you think you are? Not, I haven't got anything because no one knows who the fuck I am, but like, you know what I mean? Joe, when you see all that shit, you're like, what is wrong with you?
Just like, it's a bit of crack. Like,
like,
Jesus, like, just let it happen.
Yeah.
Like, let them have a bit of crack. Do you know what I mean? Like, you do your own thing. You go back to doing whatever doing sports.
Whatever fucking shit you're doing.
Literally, like
a big person that caught a lot of flack, and we'll cover some modern events, I suppose, as well. Did you see the thing about Molly May? Her getting absolutely slated.
Yeah, I definitely seen that there. That was
not ways.
What do you think about it?
I understand where she was coming from. Like, not as in like everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, but like she's trying to just motivate people to be like, you know, go out and do what you want. Like, sort of, if you want to go do something, you can achieve it. Which, like, in a sense, I understand where she's trying to come from, but she just came at it from the wrong angle
Yeah.
altogether. Like, and I think the backlash she got was a bit fucking harsh. Like,
Yeah, I thought it was really harsh. Like, she has nothing to do with like how many people are getting paid, or she,
Yeah.
like, she probably hasn't a clue.
Yeah.
She's probably not been told any of that. Like, but I can see the message she was trying to bring out. But I actually do feel so, like, in a way, like, just bad for like the backlash like celebrities get and influencers
I feel bad for the backlash she got, but at the same time, I do believe like you shouldn't always stay in your lane, but you should stay in your lane to an extent.
Yeah.
Like, people follow Molly May because she makes like a good YouTube series. She's good looking. She's nice to look at, and she wears
Yeah.
good clothes.
She's Love Island.
Yeah, she's
Yes.
loving. That's what she is. So let's not do the whole thing of like, here, I'm really inspirational, and maybe not go down that route. Like, I don't know, like, people like that have PR people, and they're obviously like, you know, this motivation stuff in podcasts is great to do. Get out there and tell everyone that you can do it no matter what.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're doing just fine taking photos of yourself.
I know.
Why you put yourself in that situation?
I mean, by all means, engage your young audience and tell them you can do anything you want, like, but just be careful how you do it. Like, and just know that anything you say nowadays will backfire on you. Like,
Absolutely.
That's a big fear. Do you ever have that fear where like your mates have like content of you? Like,
There's things I've said on this podcast, and like, I've had people like, and it's not even out of context, it's perfectly in context, and they go, fuck, look what you said, and I was like, I don't even remember saying that. Like,
you're like,
I was like, but people don't understand is like, it's not always like, in this, like, you're going what's this, 55 minutes in, there's probably something in here that someone's going to say, what the fuck are them boys on about?
Yeah,
Joe, like,
definitely,
they're
like,
chatting absolute fucking wet or something like that, and it just happens. But it's not necessarily always everything I say, or like everything, I'm not speaking on behalf of you, but everything I say isn't always my opinion. It's always maybe a crack, or it's a bit of fucking fly out of the tongue. Like, I don't think of every single thing comes out of my head, because that would be exhausting. There's too many words come out on a daily basis.
Yeah, definitely.
To try and control and actually have a proper opinion on things. Like, I was looking the other day, do all these like anti-maskers and stuff like that, and we're going this direction, right? Do all these like anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers and all. I was like, I don't care about anything really that much.
Yeah,
do the people like scream at people today like, fucking, you should wear a mask, or you should take the vaccine, or you should do whatever. I'm like, why you
take it?
Yeah, just whatever. Like, I actually, I was trying to figure out, like, is there anything I care about that much, or I would actually scream in someone's face to like try and convince them of my opinion's right?
And it's probably like half of them. Like, obviously I can understand from a lot of people's point of view of like the whole COVID thing, you know what I mean? Like, it can be bad, but I really think like, I mean, if you're that passionate about it, like, just
I understand every single angle that people are coming from. Like, I get it, but I'm just like, we're 2 years into this shit. You're not convincing someone.
I know, like, if they want to do it, if they want to do it, they'll do it. If they don't, they don't. You can't convince anyone. Do you know what I mean? Everyone has their own opinion at this rate.
Literally.
Like, do you know what I mean? All the stuff they hear, like.
Let's get the fuck away from that topic, because that's absolutely
I
terrifying.
feel like I'm writing the assignment.
Yeah.
Every assignment nowadays. COVID.
Yeah. I remember whenever when I started uni, it was everything's brilliant. I was like, when the fuck are we going to get off this whole Brexit fucking shit? This is a disaster. And then this happened. I was like, oh, take me back to the Brexit talks.
Oh yeah.
This is awful.
I'd rather Brexit than anything else. Like.
We did get a few questions, and so I want to cover them. We sort of talked a few through the podcast. Let me see here. Someone actually wrote, I sort of touched on this. Have you ever been on a lad's holiday?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
Went to Kavos, Greece.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it was deadly. It was.
How many of you went?
I'm trying to think. I'd say, just a quick number, I'd say it was five of us.
All right, okay.
Oh, yeah, five or six. I don't know how, I can't remember, but I think it's going to say 5 or 6.
What age were you? I
was 18. It was sweet. It was a good crack. We were all psyched about it. I remember in school booking it and all. It was deadly. It was some crack. I had a girlfriend at the time, so I was a real good boy. Still partied, still doing beans. Like, was a real good boy. Like, yeah, it was absolutely deadly. Like, it just the vibes. Got on stage with Joel Corey.
No way.
On the first day, got on stage with Michael Bibby on the last day. I was just so word off. I goes, here, guys, we'll get on stage. And they're like, yeah, go for it, lad. I said, yeah, I'll definitely do it. Like, went up to the manager, started talking the biggest load of crap I ever. Told him I've seen him about 4 times. And to be fair, I do like him. He's a legend. Like. And then he came up, and he goes, oh, please let me up. And I got a video of it and put it in Instagram. I was psyched. Me just darting around. And then he came off. I was like, oh, good show and all that. And I was psyched. Like, it wasn't even that. Like, I wasn't even music back then.
No,
I wasn't even like
just a chancer.
Yeah, I was just like, I wasn't even like that producer or anything. I was still in my SoundCloud days, like. So I was just psyched to get up on stage, like. No, lads, holidays were mental. Kavos is a really, really mad place.
Is it really cheap over there? Kavos?
Yeah. Like you said about the vodkas, one of the like 5 times distilled, 7 times distilled vodka, absolutely dirt cheap. Some crack. We had a mint hotel. Tunes blasting the whole time. You just wake up, there's tunes going straight to the pool. Oh my god, it was lethal. Food was lethal. Only thing I could say about it was, I feel like it if you weren't doing the package deals, like you were just shite. Like
Yeah.
that was the only thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Well, I couldn't recommend if I don't know what age person is. Also, I didn't even know who they were. But if you are to go, like if you're thinking about going on one, obviously when everything opens up, and you've never been on a lad's holiday. If you're a young person listening, just fucking go. Especially see when you come out of school, like
Yeah.
like 18-year-old, it is the
Just
perfect
go.
time to go.
Just
I was the same
go.
as you. I had a girlfriend and was a very good boy when I went over there. But like you can still have the fucking crack.
Oh, you have
Best-
a lethal time. Like
Best time. Like all your mates are fucking around doing stupid shit. Like just, it's like. It's almost like your first taste of freedom because like you don't move out of home or anything. God.
yeah, like I remember even at the airport, we got absolutely hammered at the airport, and then two of them near got kicked off the plane. It was so crack. Like I was just having a few beers, but they were absolutely rote. Like, and they near got kicked off the plane. We arrived there. I was necking beers on the way up to the gaff, and then the first day she goes, the event that's on tonight is Joel Corey. They were like, nah, come aboard, come on. I was like, boys, I will go by myself. Like, I was like, I'm for going here. So I got a ticket, and no one else was going, so I was going to go by myself. And then one of my mates, Cahill, he's like, oh, I'll go with you. I go, fucking legend. I was going, the kid.
Yeah.
And then me and him, just us two out of the group went. They
And
all
did you drink every single night?
Yeah, it was on
Yeah.
her every single night. I wasn't on it during the day, which I'm glad because like you would be just so sick. Like,
Yeah.
but every night I was just on it. It wasn't, to be fair, not once throughout the holiday was I really, really bad.
Oh fuck.
Because you couldn't, like, you drank that much, you just couldn't.
We drank that much. It was the same sort of thing. I think everyone we were there for 7 days, so I think everyone ended up having one night off. But like one night off was like you just slept. You just missed 24 hours of your life. Just slept the whole way clean through it. We all had one of those. But yeah, it's serious crack.
Where did you go to?
Santa Ponza.
Santa Ponza. What was it like?
Funny thing is, Santa Ponza is not mental. Like people paint this picture.
Yeah.
It's like Santa Ponza is a place for families to go on their holidays, but there's one wee tiny strip on it that just 18-year-olds and 18-year-olds go to, and it's the best fucking. There's about 4 or 5 places you can go to, but it's 15-minute drive away from Magaluf,
Yeah.
which I didn't know at the time.
What's it?
Magaluf is 15 minutes away from Santa Ponza
15 minutes.
in a taxi. Yeah,
If I was going somewhere and I had known that there, I would be away.
yeah. So
would be away.
that's what the boys like. We'll go around to Magaluf one night. I was like, one night we're going fucking Magaluf pretty much like every night. Like,
Oh,
'cause,
you'd be class.
like this is literally like a kids resort compared to what Magaluf was like in
Really?
comparison. Like it was mad. And then I've never seen anything in my life like Magaluf. It is fucking disgusting.
What is it like?
It
Right
just
now? I've only
it's,
ever heard stories.
it's
Like,
rotten. Like I was so young and like there was such an older demographic there. Like Magaluf would have been like I don't know, like 20+ year olds to me.
Yeah.
Like they all looked older. But we went on the boat cruise and it was the same. This boat was actually the same boat that was used in the In-Betweeners movie.
no way.
Yeah, it was the same boat.
No way. That
And
is
like
deadly.
I had never seen so many shredded cunts in my life. Like I was just skinny, fucking tiny. Like I was actually a beanpole. Like I did nothing going on this holiday. None of the boys did. So we were just the white fucking skinny Irish 18-year-old boys.
Just psyched, just
on this-
drinking,
yeah,
looking for a bottle of book fast. Like.
yeah, literally just fucking boozing away in this
Yeah.
boat, and then there's basically like the stop way out in the water, and they're like, all right, if you want, you just can jump off, and the next thing you just see everyone just fucking bombing out the sides of the boat. And
Yeah,
all,
that's
like,
what they did in ours as well. I was too feared. I'm not gonna lie, I was feared. Like we were drinking about 6 in the morning.
you're
the night
so
before.
drunk, it was so dangerous. Like,
Yeah, you're like, oh, our friend Cahill, he snuck in a quarter bottle in his bag or a half bottle or something, right? And obviously there's the guy with the microphone. He's on top looking down at everyone, and he's seen him take it out of his bag, and he goes, "Hey, you have to neck it." And then he goes, "You have to neck the quarter bottle," but he called him like, what do you call the guy at Superpod, McLovin?
McLovin, yeah.
He called him McLovin because he had glasses. So he goes like, "Hey, McLovin, you have to neck it," and he had to neck this quarter bottle, like, and he was out until
Gone.
7 in the morning.
Oh.
So the whole boat trip he was like sitting over the edge. And then he was told to neck that vodka, and he was not well. Like, the rest of the trip, some crack though. Like
that it is.
some crack.
We've always said we'd love to go back and do something like that, and like, I don't know, we never have that. Just all these arse stuff. Holidays cost money, like and
Yeah.
shit like that. But I would fucking
Just one more whirl.
yeah, one more
world.
blast out in one of them places.
One more.
What else has come up here? So someone actually, yeah, favorite music artist of all time. I'll throw that one to you.
Favorite music artist of all time. Like, believe it or not, I actually wasn't even that much of a music person before I started making it.
Really?
Yeah, like I would actually listen to like quite a good bit, like, but it wasn't anything mad. Still kind of learning. But favorite music artist of all time, that's actually a tricky one. One that probably have a lot of meaning would be Rufus Du Sol, if you've ever listened to him.
Not a clue.
Trio make electronic music, but it's sick. It's like almost see the live. They use drums and stuff, but it's still electronic.
Oh,
It is
okay.
actually lethal. You'll actually give it a listen. You would love them. You actually would love them.
I actually couldn't even answer that question. Favorite music artist of all time. I'm gonna throw out like Bill Withers.
Bill Withers. Oh, Bill Withers is lethal.
I go throw out something
Yeah.
really fucking generic.
Bill Withers is deadly.
Someone rate the social media's best to worst. I think. See, it depends on what you use the most. I think
I
the absolute worst is Facebook.
Yeah, I don't use Facebook. I don't use Twitter. Do you use Twitter?
See, people will put Twitter at top. People love Twitter, and I'm not that big into Twitter. So
Are you not big into Twitter?
no, I like it, but like, I don't know. It doesn't. It's not as high up there for me as other ones. Like,
say Snapchat probably be number 1 for me.
I despise Snapchat.
Do you?
I despise Snapchat.
I think it's just you just chat your mates. I think it's class. I actually generally
see people I know, like boys that are in relationships and communicate with their woman on Snapchat. It's like that's a recipe for disaster. What are we doing here?
You know what? You're not wrong. Like, see, talking to your mates. I love. You know what I actually love. A lot of people probably won't agree, but private stories. I think they're deadly. I seen your mates just what they're at like, and you're just like you don't really talk, but you just see what they're at like. Yeah. And then next time you see each other, like I seen you post on your priv.
Especially when there's like a proper good night out or something mental happens. Like,
I am so priv. I turn into a biggest vlogger in my priv. Like I'm putting a rash content. Like I have 2 privs, so I have the main one, I have the boys one. You can't post that rash stuff in the main one. Like so I posted like in the boys one, and you all sit like around gathered around watching on your phone like what happened the night before, and you're just shocked. Like and then the memories as well. Like just not memories coming up, you just remember what you're doing. I think it's class.
I feel like Snapchat's a bigger thing. Like I'm 24. What did you?
20.
Yeah, it's definitely a bigger thing for the younger ones. Like 100%. Like
21 in April. So bless up.
Yeah. If you're getting that visa to America sorted.
Here. I'll get her going.
Right. So rate social medias. You put Snapchat first.
Yeah, Instagram 2.
I would put Instagram 1, TikTok. Probably TikTok second now, actually.
No way. Actually,
it's the one I spend the second most amount of time on, no doubt. Like,
why did I put it here? Actually, I'm all
like I'm always. I hate it. Yeah. I hate it, but I'm always on it. Like
you just keep flicking through. Yeah. It's like Vine, but I love Vine.
Vine was untouchable.
That
like
Vine up. I mean, I saw for hours. Like,
did you ever upload it? No.
I don't know. I actually can't remember.
You definitely did. That's why you can't remember.
I probably did, but I actually can't remember. I would love to know. Like. But I'd say I definitely tried to upload something, but just wasn't successful at all. But no, Vine, if Vine was still about, Vine would be up there.
Yeah.
TikTok, take number 3, I think.
Okay. And then worst, obviously, Facebook. Twitter would be third for me, yeah. So, what did I say? Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Facebook.
I do not use Facebook. My relatives crack at me that I don't use Facebook.
Why?
Why do you not accept my Facebook friend request? I'm like, Granny, I do not use Facebook. Like jump on here. Like.
Yeah. I the only reason I am on it is purely for like promoting myself. That is it. Like there's nothing. I don't scroll on it. Don't do anything on it. It's literally just there for throwing on posts, and I very rarely post on it. Someone wrote in, I want to start creating music, but everything is expensive. What should I do?
You don't need anything expensive to make music. If you have a laptop, like I said, the worst laptop ever.
What sort of software are we talking?
Software wise, you can get a demo version of either FL Studio, which I use, or Ableton or Logic. Like if you looked up softwares and the benefits of each of them, you will know which one's right for you, because they'll tell you what they're like mainly known for. I use FL Studio. It's a good all-rounder. It's really handy, easy interface. Price wise, it's under £100 like for the basics thing, but you can get the demo. You can probably get it for free in a way if you just looked it up.
Yep.
Ableton, I had to learn it for obviously college. Don't like it that much. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just used to FL Studio with them cramming Ableton in my head. I just don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I do know what I'm doing, but I just don't like it. Like, but it's really handy with tutorials and stuff. They actually on their actual website they have like easy step-by-step tutorials on how to make music and stuff. So it's actually really handy if you were looking to get into music. I get asked that all the time, like what do I use, and I just sit there and I was like, I actually made a PDF and I just send the PDF to people. So it just saves me having to explain it. Like,
okay, that probably rounds that up. All the other questions sort of covered, like the Holy Land's overrated, blah blah blah. And one question I actually want to ask you, because I noticed you enjoy a walk.
I do.
You enjoy a hike up the mountain, at the Mourne Mountains, my part of the world. What got you into that? Was that something you always like, or did you just take a notion? Like, was it a headspace thing, or like just a chance to switch off? Because it seems like the chaoticness of what should be DJing, sort of, and even just sitting in your room, probably like you probably sit in your room for a good bit, like making stuff, like getting out for a fucking walk is probably the cure.
Yeah, literally. Like, I mean, if anyone knows me, I love a walk. And I'm just like, I am so walks. I am actually going for a walk after this podcast. No, I love like hiking. I remember, I don't know why, what it was. It just 2021 was a rough year for me, like mental health wise. So just taking like walks and hiking, and like I don't even listen to music on these hikes.
Really, just go
and just like, something's like stupid, like, but in a way you'd be talking to yourself on the way down and stuff. Yeah. But I think they're the best way to clear your head, like just climbing a mountain.
Do you go on your own, or do you go with someone?
Most of the time on my own.
That's class.
I just get in the car and go.
Yeah, I think that's unreal.
Did Donard there a few days ago again.
Oh, no way.
Rash, it was really rash for me because there was an hour of sunlight.
Oh, did I not see? Yeah, I seen you. There's no view.
Oh, no, there's absolutely nothing. There's nothing going on. So when I got to the top of the mountain, I had to climb down in pitch black.
No fuck.
All completely pitch from the top of Donard, like. and complete pitch black using an iPhone torch, and rolled my ankle, messed my ankle up
shit.
a bit. It's sweet now, like rolled my ankle a wee bit. Like at the time, I didn't even think about how dangerous and scary that was, but that was so stupid or what I did. Like
Sleeves on is no joke, even in good weather.
no.
Like, it's no joke. That
So I was
mountain,
only supposed to go for a walk halfway up, and then I had perfect sunlight to come all the way back, and I just looked and goes, yeah, I climb that no bog. And I just goes, right, fuck it, we'll do it. And I just went up to the top. I brought a packed lunch and all, but didn't have time to do it because like,
because it get dark.
it's a pitch black. I was like, I won't even go see my lunch. And then got down, rolled an ankle, had to go through forest in pitch black, couldn't see a thing, didn't know where it was. But it was sweet, got back in the end, it was grand.
That's such
actually,
a like a I was alright.
I actually don't fear it at the time, but after I kind of realised that was
stupid.
so stupid what I done, like, but I probably will do it again.
I remember whenever we went up, we only went up once being awesome, but like whenever we went up in like fucking like just shitty gutties, tracksuit bottoms, whatever, like just standard gear, like, and it was sort of around Easter time, so it was sort of still like wet and shit like that. We went up. I remember seeing people come with fucking like the boots, the sticks.
Oh my god, they
like
they're
like your man from
packed.
14 Peaks, like they literally had all the fucking gear, like
they're walking around and stuff. They'd be looking at me in like a tank top and shorts. I'd be going in only shorts, a tank top, and let you backwards hat and like psych with a monster in the hand, like just darting.
I just like it's like try hard.
Me like just tracking down. They're like, God, are you not cool name shorts? I'm like, no, I'm actually sweet.
We were alright, but then see the bit when you go up the wall and then you come back, you have to come back down that wall from the very top.
Yeah.
That was like fucking. It was like skiing down muck. And I was just like, all these people were just flying down in the Reese fucking sticks and all that.
That's when you need the sticks.
Yeah.
Like,
And I was like, them dickheads. They may have looked like dicks at the bottom, but they look class now. Come down the mountain, all the gear.
Would you be up in the mornings bunch?
Not haven't done it in a good while, but
for your email.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I'm living up here now full time. Don't go home. I only go home for a wee bit of work now and then. But apart from that, no. But I've basically like I'm pretty sure we've done like 90% of the mountains. Like we've been up pretty much everything.
I think I've done them all.
I'm actually surprised there was any of them left after the lockdown. Like I thought they would all just been eroded to nothing.
Yeah, I think they're lethal.
Do you know the worst one I actually thought was? Do you know that Sleeve Binion one?
I actually love it.
But
would you do the loop or would you?
No, just the straight up and straight back down. Like it is. That mountain is no joke.
No, it's actually not.
Because there's people get it confused, right? There's actually two mountains that are sort of similar that look over that way, and there's a short one that takes about an hour. But if you do that Sleep Binion one, the proper one, and go up the side, it's a fucking hike.
Oh my god, it actually is such a hike. Like if you do the full loop, you know when you do this wee path around,
yeah.
There's a lake and stuff. We always do the loop, and you're literally on your hands and knees. Like I mean, my calves get her so tight. Like I'd be in such pain, but I'd be psyched about it. Like I'd just like I hate going. I don't hate going with other people, but I just like going by myself. You go at your own pace. And then you just get such a better climb out of it. Like we do not realize like how lethal we like live here.
Oh, it's unreal.
Like it's actually.
But even living up here, like in Belfast, like what are the mornings away? Really, like 45 minutes. Say.
Literally just down. Don't even know where I am. Like, but
just
just down in the corner. Like.
Literally, just you can head down to Newcastle, literally road around the corner from here. Like
you'll be able to see them. Like, do you know what I mean?
Or even if you didn't want to go there, like Cave Hill or like all the shit around here, like it's still a good hike. But yeah, it's one of the things that's so good for the headspace. Like, and even like the wee just sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, definitely.
Afterwards, like.
Especially the headspace fact, like see you get one in the creative industry, I'm sure you know yourself, you can get a creator's block.
Oh yeah.
Creator's block is the worst thing ever. Like I had the worst creator's block 2021. It actually took me. I near quit music over it. Like
really?
Yeah, it was close. I just sitting there. That's when I didn't post anything. That's when I didn't post anything. The only thing I posted is me climbing a mountain or doing something social. Like I wasn't doing anything remotely music related because I thought like, oh, everyone's gonna think it's shit or something like, and I just never posted anything. Didn't even bother producing. But I think honestly, taking some time off is the best thing you can do for yourself.
Do you know what though? Like I do find like, and as I said, I paid like a lot of attention to people's social medias and stuff. See, whenever I did notice that you sort of like went off the radar a wee bit, in my head I can't help but think, good for him, because like. Joe, the people that continue to sort of fucking just push through and push out shade and like just go through this fucking awful rut, but they're posting on social media as if everything's good. It's such like a like what I'm basically trying to say is like fair play for actually taking a step back and going, you know what, fuck this, like put yourself first. Like
there was messages getting from people like just like, oh, why you not posting anymore and stuff, and I would just be like, I'll be posting soon and stuff, you know, just taking a while off. But I'm telling you, the while off, you need it. Like
the best thing ever.
It's sorted me out. Like see, come August, September, I was psyched in that, like getting back in that studio, psyched more than ever. Like really, when you take that time, and you're like, right, I actually need to get back to work here.
Yeah.
And then you're like, is there anything else for me to do? And you think, no, there's not. Right, let's get back to work, and then you're back better than ever.
So to close it out for us, put a nice bow on all this. Then, what should we expect in the future? What's coming up? Well, obviously the world's upside down, so what?
Yeah, with all COVID stuff going on, I think for now, I might have to go back to my original stage, which is
TikTok. And
do you know what? I never post on TikTok, but I might start doing it again. Yeah. I think I need to. Like I'm stupid for not doing it, but to expect a few projects coming up. I might have to release them by myself without any labels help because
how difficult is that to do?
at the start when I first made music, it was easy. I just thought I just uploading them. But see, now there's such a pressure on the track not doing well because people have this expectation.
Right. Okay.
So like, that's why I'm scared to release these new projects under my current name, because if they like, that audience might not like it. The people,
right, okay.
like those monthly listeners, like they might not like it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They won't engage with it, and then it's a flop. So I think I'm gonna start maybe a different alias.
All right. Okay.
But maybe still can join it with my original Gabriel Jon, for the first song.
Mm-hmm.
Just let people. I'm gonna let people know, obviously, but I just think I have such big projects coming out. Like no one's gonna expect them.
Yeah.
Like they're massive.
And are these done projects, as in like they're basically sitting bow tied, ready to be distributed, or
like
oh,
these
nice.
These projects are bow tied. There's track coming out on Radio 1, hopefully this Sunday.
Nice one.
Which I'd be psyched about. It's for my first Radio 1 player, and that track isn't out at all.
Joe time roughly that's coming out at?
Introduction show evening
time.
Obviously I'll post it on social, whatever. But yeah, that's I do have a lot of projects coming out, but I just can't say much about them until they're
that's so
fully
frustrating.
finalized,
God damn it.
until they're fully finalized, because I don't want to chat it up and when it doesn't happen, see it's COVID. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then hopefully when everything opens up again, more live stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Shows. I'm so shows. The moment COVID's gone, I will be buzzing to do shows, even though I'm nervous. I'm already nervous thinking about it.
But it's like everything, just it's reps. Like, see when it gets to
literally.
the stage where you just, because like you obviously see people that have residencies, and then it just becomes,
oh yeah, it'll become
it's like clocking in, like,
yeah, literally, like talking about the residencies. They say they'll train you to show you how to
oh,
put
nice
on a
one.
good show. So because you're representing their brand, it's
True.
not just you're just going out there to play whatever you want. You're playing. It's not controlled, but you're representing them, so you want to make sure you put on a good show.
Yeah.
But I want that help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm glad to take on that help, and it'll make me a better performer.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, because at the moment I'm a producer, not a performer.
Right. Okay.
So,
yeah.
But I'm excited to transition into performer and a producer.
So big year come up then.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. I think that's going to wrap us up. If you have any more closing comments or anything you want to throw out there?
No, not really.
No?
Just listen to Smac Talk.
Please listen.
Stay tuned to Smac Talk.
No, good lad. It's been an absolute pleasure having you.
Of course.
If people want to find you, you've said you're going to start using TikTok maybe a bit more, but Instagram probably, or where's the best place to find you?
Yeah,
SoundCloud?
probably Instagram. What's Spotify? If you just type in Gabriel Jon on anything, Spotify, Instagram, Google if you want.
Jon, isn't it?
Yeah, Jon, Gabriel, space Jon. You'll find everything about me.
Lethal.
Yeah,
Class one.
deadly.
Thanks so much for coming on. Guys, if you've enjoyed this episode of the Smac Talk podcast, you know what to do. Leave a wee rating, leave a wee like. Go check out all of Gabriel's stuff, because it's been class to have him on for a chat. And let us know what you think. And I'll see you all again, guys, in the next one. Cheers, Gabriel.
Cheers.